Yes.
Yep, okay. Could I get a motion to adopt the formal agenda, please?
So moved.
Seconded.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Luis, would you mind reading the disclaimer?
Yeah, and I do. One other point. I don't know if the YouTube is going for this one today. So, if we can get out a recorder. Since we didn't do the schedule for it last time, I don't know if they had PMN get set up, so just want to let everyone know that ahead of time. Sorry, Casey, I really apologize. Okay. Chapter 16, Section 22 of the City of Kalamazoo Ordinance states, historical preservation is a public purpose. To serve that purpose, the Historic District Commission is hereby charged with the following responsibilities. A, the Kalamazoo Historic District Commission is empowered to regulate work on the exterior of historic resources and non-historic resources in historic districts in the City of Kalamazoo, and shall otherwise have all powers invested in Historic District Commissions pursuant to Local Historic Districts Act, MCLA 399-201, and 1970 PA 169 as amended in 1992. B, to regulate work on resources which, by city ordinance, are historic or non-historic resources located within local historic districts, including but not limited to the moving of any structure into or out of, or the building of any structure in an historic district. The following documents are available in the Community Planning and Economic Development Department located at 245 North Rose Street. These documents will help assist property owners in understanding the responsibilities of owning property in a local historic district. MCLA 399-201, 1970 PA 169 is amended in 1992, which is the Michigan Local Historic District Act. Code of Ordinances of the City of Kalamazoo, Michigan, specifically Chapter 16, which deals with historic districts. Secretary of the Interior Standards for Rehabilitation and Guidelines for Rehabilitating Historic Buildings from 1990. Standards and Guidelines for Kalamazoo Historic Districts and Maps of Kalamazoo Local Historic Districts. These documents and maps are also available on the City of Kalamazoo website at www.kamazooCity.org/historic preservation.
Thank you so much. All right, we're going to move on to the applicants, starting off with 714 Willard.
And I do not see them here yet, so we can probably move to the second one.
Okay, and then the second one is 405 Douglas.
Hello, my name is AJ Zink. I'm the production manager with Property Revolution. I've never done one of these, so
Yeah. So just, we'll pull up your files on the screen, but just give a little talk about what you want to do, and then we'll probably have some questions for you.
Yeah, definitely. So what we are looking to do is build a deck behind the customer's home. The deck is a U-shape with 2 stairwells. The reasoning that the customer wants this deck is because it's an elderly couple and the husband is having trouble trying to get in and out of the back door. There is a gate on the back side which leads to the parking area. Currently, if you walk through that gate, there is a steep hill that goes down, which he has slipped on numerous occasions. So it's more for a safety reason that they want this more than an aesthetic. The deck is completely behind the house, and it is within their fence that they already have on site.
Okay. Okay, great. Is there going to be a ramp or anything? It's not quite like that.
So there's no ramp, but there are 2 sets of stairs.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And those stairs will have handrails.
Okay, great. And then when you're building this deck, like how are you planning on attaching it to the house? Like a big thing that is important to us is that anything you do can be undone, you know?
So it will not be attached to the house. It will be freestanding.
Okay.
So it'll be butted up to the house, but not actually attached.
Okay. Great.
And the deck will then take care of the hill issue
Yes.
for the customer. Okay, great.
And I think that's the biggest thing. I don't know if folks looked at Google like satellite images of this, but it is a very steep hill. Like when you come out of the back door, it's at one level and then it goes up this kind of steep hill. And it looks like the the deck will be built into those hills, it kind of looks like, right? So the steps take care of those, both those slopes, so they could go up and down the stairs instead of having to go up and down the hills.
Exactly.
Yep.
And as far as visibility from the street, pretty minimal, would you say? It's fully behind the house? It's not sticking out around one side or anything?
No, yeah, it's completely hidden by the house. Yep.
All right, if no one has any more questions, would someone want to make a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve a certificate of appropriateness for the work as described in the application as it complies with Secretary of Interior Standards 9 and 10.
I'll second that.
Casey, could we get a roll call vote, please?
Katie?
Yes.
Christy?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Sweet. So the motion passed. Like I said, when I get in tomorrow, I'll approve it on the building permit work as well. I don't know when you think the building permit will get. I think everyone else has approved on it, so. You'll hear from me by the end of the week, and then you're good to go as long as the other people on the building permit approve it. So we'll be in touch.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
so
you guys
much.
so much, and thank you for braving the weather to get down here. Really appreciate it. So.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, I guess I misunderstood. I thought the deck was the one that was calling in.
I did too. So we spoke on the phone right before that. And
so
he was like, "Yep." He was
you
like, "I'm
made
already down here." Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Great.
as soon as you get a little bit farther south, the road's clear right up.
Oh, okay.
Sun's out on it, it's dry pavement, so I just floored it down here.
All right, well,
Yeah.
yeah, good luck.
Well, I'm not in a rush going back, so.
Thanks so much for making the trip.
All right.
Thanks
you
so
all.
much. So we do not have the other applicant yet. We can look at it, and I'll leave it up to you guys to determine kind of what you want to do for this one.
Is it possible we could pause on this and you could go over what you were going to go over at the end? Or is that a point of order issue?
We could potentially. I haven't heard from the applicant, but I know that the roads are bad. We can skip if you'd like to down to that. If someone wanted to make a motion to table this one, go to the other one, and then come back, we'll really exercise our Robert's Rules of Order stuff.
Do people want to do that, or do you want to? Okay, all right. That way we're efficient with time, and then
I move to adjust the agenda order so that the coordinator's report comes next, and we'll end with the second application review.
Seconded.
all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. All right, Luis?
Sweet. Yeah, and I will get, well, yeah, we can look at this first, and then I'll talk about other coordinators' reports things. This is very simple. This is just something the clerk's office asks us to do. Very tongue-tied today. And we neglected to do it last time, which is completely my fault. We moved through the other things, and I didn't bring this one up. Just to look at the schedule, it's the same exact thing, and just to approve it as a point of order for this year. Still have you guys on the third Tuesday of every month at 5 p.m. in this room. So nothing's changed. It really is just a formality.
Okay. Do we need to make a motion to approve that?
Yep.
Could I get someone to make a motion to approve, please?
I move to approve the 2026 schedule for the Historic District Commission.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? All right.
You guys are a very agreeable group. The other thing is I'll get you kind of a year in review of reviews from last year by the next meeting. I looked at it and I just completely forgot about it until it was too late to put it together for full transparency. So I'll have it for, I think I had some that were still hanging out too, but I'll get it together for you guys for February to look at, just so we can see our totals, and then it'll be included in the March, like the annual report as well. But just so you guys know, it'll be there. We didn't have any, obviously, for this month yet. It's been quiet thus far this year, which is not necessarily a bad thing, because it's
Hard,
very cold
hard
in
to do
winter.
anything out there in the Arctic.
It is very hard to do anything out there in the Arctic right now. I'll also take this opportunity to kind of plug I'd be remiss if I didn't. Imagine Kalamazoo opportunities. So last week we had kind of our Imagine Kalamazoo kickoff. It's not really a kickoff, but it was the inaugural meeting for the 2035 planning process. That was at Washington Writers Academy in the Edison neighborhood. If you guys just like look up Imagine Kalamazoo 2035, it'll bring you to the website. There's a whole slate of meetings that are going to happen. I'm sure if you guys go, I'll see you at some of them because it's going to be kind of an all hands on deck thing. So I'll be at a lot of them working tables. I encourage folks to come out to them. I think it's a really great opportunity to come out and get involved and see what planning looks like in real life, right? This is something that I think the city does really well, and we make a very concerted effort to have these points of contact with the community while we're doing the master planning process. It's rewarding, I think, too, to see all the people that come out to do this. You know, we had ours on a Friday, and we had, I did not get an exact head count, but there were folks that came out and they were, you know, giving up their Friday to come out and do this, which I think is awesome to see, right? So the schedule is posted online. I think figure out which ones you can come to, and then, you know, if there's ones that relate to your neighborhood, obviously go to those too. But this is for folks who live, play, and work in the city of Kalamazoo, which is all of you guys live in the city, but, you know, it's for everyone that has anything to do in the city. So would really love to see you guys at some of those meetings.
Is there a universal Kalamazoo city mailing list that tells you like all the events and all the meetings that are going like in one place, or do you have to go to each entity?
Elaborate a little if you don't mind. Like for
like it would be awesome to go to a single place or get an email update that there's like historic district meeting, there's a neighborhood meeting, there's a Imagine Kalamazoo meeting.
Yep. So I think that, you know, like if you emailing lists are tricky, I think, because like people would have to provide that information to us, but I'm sure that they're, like Imagine Kalamazoo does have emailing lists. When we have sign-up sheets, we ask people for their email addresses so we can push out the updates to them. So there's that. And then the website has really outlined it very well. Tonight there was one, but it got canceled because of the weather. Different nature than this meeting. They wanted to have a lot of folks come out to it. When you're looking at like meetings for commissions, the city's website, again, is the ultimate resource. There's a calendar that outlines every agenda meeting, or every like board meeting, and we have a lot of board meetings.
Yeah.
So that's a great resource just to go and see what's going on. When it comes to neighborhood meetings, you know, I would just kind of check in with those individual neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Not every neighborhood has a board, and then they kind of, I don't want to say they act into, they're not necessarily a part of the city government, right? We act in concert with them. I think, you know, like Vine's meeting is tonight.
Yeah.
It's always on the same day. I'm not sure when Stewart's is, which is one of the other neighborhoods, or I'm not sure if West Main Hill is meeting regularly either. But they all do have websites where you can go and check those things too. And then like Vine has the Vine Line newsletter that goes out.
I've seen things in Now Kalamazoo.
That was going to be my last plug, is that they do a great
now
job.
Kalamazoo
I
has
assume
made
the
me
Gazette does too.
very lazy for information just coming to my inbox. It's so nice.
Right.
I know the feeling. I'm right there with you. And they pull together a lot of the stuff, which is really nice. So those are the resources that I usually tell folks to lean into. That's the way that I do it when I'm looking for stuff. And Encore is another one that I look through.
Encore's great.
And I'm just an avid Encore collector. So,
Nice.
Hey,
yes.
Luis, I have a quick question.
Yes.
For these, like, Imagine Kalamazoo meetings or any of the other neighborhood meetings, is there an opportunity for us and, like, maybe even, like, Historic Preservation Commission to set up tables or something to give information, especially since we're in desperate need of members, like commissioners? Is there an opportunity there? Because you feel like those are the people that are interested in what's happening.
I can ask.
Okay.
I do think I'll ask.
Okay.
And, you know, we do like media blasts for commissioners, certainly. Like we have the communication team put stuff out.
Yeah.
I don't know how all you guys heard about it, but they put stuff out on Facebook, I think, and then they put stuff out in
me.
other ways. Okay. Yeah. Or yes. So there's that. There were some other groups, and I think that when we get into the historic neighborhoods, I'll be running the historic table. So when we get into Fine, I think I'll have a table that has to do with it, or Stewart.
Okay.
or downtown. So there will be a presence with those things too.
Okay.
All right, what should I do here? Should we wait another couple minutes, or?
I think we can at least look at it and talk through it. I guess I did want to talk about a couple things with this one and just kind of let you guys know what I found.
Okay.
So I'm not going to I'll just go through my report, I guess. And this is only because I haven't heard anything otherwise. As you guys noticed, this application was filled out by Community Homeworks to do this work. This is one that I went out and looked at, and I hope the pictures did it justice. There was kind of murkiness in my opinion, and it was like, this is 714 Willard, this is the demolition of an adjoining garage. I didn't even want to say attached, because when you went out and looked at it, and I don't know if I expressed this eloquently enough in my report, the siding on the garage was notched to receive the siding on the main house, so it was literally cut to receive that siding. It was not, to me, that's a 100% indicator that it was built afterwards. It was not built at the same time. All that being said, I'd be remiss if I didn't also talk about the research that I did when I was looking at this. You know, you go back and look at Sanborn's, addresses don't always add up one-to-one, so I was kind of looking at the legal descriptions of it. Sanborn's, when you get back far enough, I think we have like 1898. There's a couple late 1800 ones. This house was allegedly built in 1895, according to the assessor's office. Those late 1800s and maybe even the 1902 Sanborn has an inset that covers up where this house would be, so it's not shown on those maps, which is a real bummer. And then the next one, we'll call it 1908 or 1912 or something, and it does show something coming off the back. I think that, again, and I've preached about this before, is the danger of looking at maps, because you just get a footprint and you don't actually see what's going on, right? So I don't know what that thing off the back could have been. I went out and looked at this one in person. I took this photograph of the property. The woman that lives there now was kind enough to let us go into her backyard, because this was on our kind of housing enforcement list as well for stuff. As is noted in the application as well. She's like a third-generation resident of this property, which I think was just a neat factoid, I think, at the end of the day, too. There's siding on the inside of the garage house. So, I mean, if you're standing inside of the garage looking at the house, you can also see it's completely sided as well. The entire thing has started to just twist completely, so it is pulling away from the house now. It, first of all, was not attached, but now it's like there's daylight in between them. There's an image that you can, if you can find it, Casey, where you can see daylight coming into the garage. That's why my report said what it said as well. I don't find that this is a character-defining feature of the property. It's sided, you know, it's clad in a different siding. You guys can do what you'd like, you know, at postponement or vote on it this evening. That's completely up to you all.
I mean, when were automobiles common in Kalamazoo, the start of it?
KPL has some great resources about that I just read today about the Lane Motor Truck Company. And I have it open right now. So, like early 1900s, there's a truck right here that they're advertising from like 1918 that was being built here in the city of Kalamazoo. So I think around then.
So this would have been before that, like if it only showed up in 1908.
If it was even the same one, and it doesn't make sense to me, like I didn't really see signs of a larger door ever being present on this either. And the woman, when I spoke with her, she made it sound like it was like an animal shed. Huh. Like it was not for cars. Okay. It was like an addition. She was like, I just remember animals living in there, is exactly what she said.
But even so, the only doorway that seems to be defined seems quite small. Like yes. that's a human door.
Yes, it is.
So it's a curious structure to me that like there's not a automobile door or like some sort of horse-sized door. It's yes. curious.
And it's like a dirt floor in there, I think. I did not go inside of it. I had no interest to go inside of it after I could see through the gap.
Forgive me if you said this already, but the report cuts off at the end in the discussion part. It says that permission for the demolition of the garage was given in, is there a year for that?
There is a year, and I must have just stopped typing. to be completely honest with you.
Happens. It's all right.
It does happen. I'm guessing that I went to go look for it and I cut out. Let me pull up their file for this one as well. So Sharon and I also disagreed on this, I think. So '09 is when the permission was given. That was too long for me just to give it administratively again. I wanted it to come back to you guys. She gave this a notice to proceed, which is given to things that are, you know, it doesn't meet our guidelines. I don't feel that that is applicable here because I don't think that this is a character defining or historic structure. So in 2009, the permission was given and then just nothing happened with the application.
To clarify, 2009 permission to proceed with demolition was
Notice to proceed was given. So
Okay.
Sharon felt that this was a character defining feature and that the demolition would not align with the standards. I disagree. Sorry, Sharon. Well, we're not even on YouTube today. Sorry, Sharon, if you read the minutes. Politely disagree with that assessment because I don't find this to be an original structure. The siding is different, first of all. It's Dutch lap siding or car body siding, whatever people want to call it, as opposed to the clapboard. It's covering up siding. They didn't like finish it in a different kind on the inside. There's not an adjoining wall, and I couldn't get a good picture of it. I think one of the pictures does show the notches that were cut out to receive it.
I mean, that picture alone looks like it poses a threat to people, let alone the house. I know you said it's leaning away from the house, but
One half. So it is literally twisting. So the one half is pulling away and the other half is starting to push into it now because I don't know, when we see structures like this, and we've seen a couple before, I think with this iteration of the commission, we see this especially in garages or carriage barns. When you get to a carriage barn, it's when it gets really dicey, right? They did not build them with sheathing sometimes, so you don't have like side-to-side lateral support. You just have the up and down studs. So if the roof starts to go, then you will get a twist, and then it's not even safe to rack it anymore. We actually saw this with the house that was on McCordy as well, the one that was had like a 3-degree tilt to it, and it was not sheathed underneath. A difference in construction, but it does pose a danger. I spoke with the folks at Community Homeworks and I said my next big issue, and they outlined it in the application, is with what's happening behind there that needs to be addressed, and they said that they would address whatever is happening on the north side of the property.
okay.
I had a couple questions about the photos. Maybe you can answer, Luis. Page 14, is that an interior picture of the exterior door? Probably.
Page 14, 1 second, let me get there.
Yeah.
We have different page numbers I can see already. Is it the one that Casey has right?
Or from
That's
the
just
inside?
inside. Second, my computer's going really slow too. I'm trying to find it. That's just looking up at the roof where it's splitting away from it.
Is there not a doorway or a window there?
I think this is the steps to the door in the back of the house.
Right, but that picture, is that a window or anything, or no?
That's just
Oh, interesting. Okay.
how much it's pulling away.
Yeah.
I thought it was intentional.
No,
Okay.
no.
Thank
I mean,
you.
you could see it when you go out. You can see the gap from the exterior too. These are the stairs. This picture that Casey has up right now are the stairs going into the rear of the house taken from the inside, so you can see the amount of daylight that's coming in too. Two pictures that I uploaded, the quality really, really is awful. But the last picture shows the
Would you say the door that goes into the house appears to be an original?
I did not go in. I didn't take those pictures. I didn't want to have to go and get the key from her to go in, and then we went around front and talked to her. Technically, right now, it's inside, so they could do whatever they wanted with it. The second they take this down, they have to ask us for permission to do anything, but they said they would try to, so.
Does, what are people's thoughts? Do you feel like you have enough information to vote on this? Okay. No other questions for Luis? All right. Well, if you could make a motion to approve then?
I'll move to approve a certificate of appropriateness for the work as described in the application as it complies with Secretary of Interior Standards 2, 6, and 9.
Seconded.
Casey, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Katie?
Yes.
Christie?
Yes.
Dana?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
James?
Yes.
Sweet. I will communicate that with the folks at Community Homeworks, that they got approved for this. I think the roads are bad today, and I'm sure that that's contributing a bit to folks not coming. So, yeah, that's all the business that we have today.
Okay. That was a very crisp meeting, everyone. It is almost 5:30 on the dot, might be 5:31. I'm going to adjourn the meeting.